guys, this is just so good. It's getting better and better the more I read. Hello everyone, so I am going to start reading Swanns Way by Marcel Proust. I picked this up the other day from a charity shop in Notting Hill, and yeah, it was only £4. It's been on my TBR for a while, but yeah, I don't know, I just kind of forgotten about it, and then actually thought, you know what, I think it's time. I'm in need, I've just finished reading actually this by Barbara Commons, Sisters by a River. It was really, really good, but that was a shorter book, so now I'm in the mood for a longer book, so I've picked this one up. And yeah, I think it's, well, this is book 1 of In Search of Lost Time, and I'm not sure how many more books there are. I think it's 2, but I could be wrong. I probably need to look that up. But yeah, all I know about this is that it's deeply about memory. He dips a Madeline into a tea, and then all these memories of his childhood come flooding back. And I love books about memory. Apparently it's also like a one-of-a-kind style novel. And Virginia Woolf even wrote here, "My greatest adventure was undoubtedly Proust. What is there left to write after that?" Whether that's actually something she wrote, I don't know, but I don't know. It makes me want to read it more because I love Virginia Woolf as well. So I'm going to read the first few pages of this. I've got myself a tea, and then I will get back to you about my thoughts on it. Wow, it's really beautiful so far. Like, the imagery used is incredible. Just like, this is a very simple sentence, but even this sentence: "I would rest my cheeks tenderly against the lovely cheeks of the pillow, which, full and fresh, are like the cheeks of our childhood." And it's kind of like, so far, he's going in and out of different memories just whilst trying to go to sleep, and I guess in and out of consciousness and playing with what's happening with the mind. And I'm literally like 3 pages in already. It's, yeah, I'm really liking it. So yeah, I'm gonna try, I think, each day to read around 30 pages. I think that's doable. If I could read more, that would be great, but at minimum of 30 pages would be good, I think. And actually I have some like post-it notes I think I'm gonna use to annotate this and mark where I really like the writing. I feel like the whole thing I'm gonna really like, but yeah, maybe there'll be some themes coming up and I'll be able to like tab them with different colours because I've got a whole selection of colours. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think actually I'm in the mood to go into town and just do a bit of more book shopping and just have a look around, just to like get out of the house a bit today. So I'm going to bring this with me, and maybe I'll find a cafe to sit, but I won't do the tabbing, I guess, there. Maybe I will. But yeah, so let's go to town, and I'll bring her with me. So it's the next day, and I am I'm 40 pages in, And I've had some new thoughts about how I'm going to approach this, because the writing is so lucid. It's like you're dreaming, and it's like you're kind of going in and out of different memories and different thoughts. It's a much denser read than I imagined. I read War and Peace last year, and actually that was quite a straightforward read in comparison. So I've decided I'm actually only going to read around 10 to 20 pages a day, depending what the day looks like. And I'm also just going to read it a lot slower. I might go over sections again. I just didn't realize like how long some of the sentences actually are, or how long they would be. Like, on the contrary, I was delighted, and Mamma went to get a packet of books of which I could not distinguish through the paper in which they were wrapped, more than their shape, short and thick, but which, in their first guise, though summery and veiled, already eclipsed the box of colours from New Year's Day and the silkworms from last year. Like, that's just one sentence, and they're all kind of like that. That's not even one of the longer sentences. That one's more straightforward in comparison to some others. So yeah, I've kind of decided I'm going to take it a little slower. And when any kind of references to historical figures comes up, I'm going to do a bit more research into them to really get into the story. Yeah, I often find I get stuck in this thing that Goodreads is kind of forced onto me, which is, oh, try and read as many books as possible. But actually, this is reminding me to slow down. And if you are someone that struggles with attention span, I feel like this could actually be a cure to that, if you choose to actually pay attention and digest it very slowly. So that's how I'm going to take it. And actually, I'm using this pouch as my pencil case. And I think I'm going to get a specific notebook actually just for Swanns Way Proust, or maybe for In Search of Lost Time. Also, I went into this so blind. I didn't realise there are 7 books, not 3, which I said yesterday. 3 or 4 I said yesterday. Yeah, so there are actually 7 books, which is, yeah, kind of crazy. I don't know if I'll read them all back to back, but for now, I will read this one. And I've got some tabs here where I just thought the descriptions were really beautiful. Like this one, where he is talking about his grandma, and he says, when we would see as it passed and then passed again, lifted slantways towards the sky, her beautiful face with its brown furrowed cheeks, which with age had become almost mauve, like the ploughed fields in autumn, crossed, if she was going out, by a veil half raised, while upon them, brought there by the cold or some sad thought, an involuntary tear was always drying. Just such like dream-like imagery. It really feels like, yeah, water, very liquid, very fluid. So yeah, very heavy though. And I've also watched some videos now about this book and the best way to get as much from it. And people were saying that it's good to keep a journal, and then any kind of thoughts that you have that go alongside his memories and stuff would be great to kind of keep logged. And what I'm going to do is try and read in 10-page intervals, and then go back over them, over the parts I really liked, and write how that made me feel or whatnot. But yeah, gosh, yeah, a bit more of a challenge than I actually first assumed, but that's okay. We will get onto it. So yeah, I'm gonna go get myself a notebook specifically for Proust, which will be nice. And so far today, I've read 10 pages. I might this evening read 5 more pages, or I might go back over what I've already read. I haven't decided yet. And I also might actually buy the audiobook to go over passages, so when I've read it myself, I might actually have someone else read it to me, because I think his words actually lend themselves very nicely to being read out loud, and I have been sometimes reading it out loud, especially if the sentence is really long, just so I can actually understand what's going on.
When I lay awake at night and revived, oh, more of it than this sort of luminous panel, sharply defined against a vague and shadowy background, or Mamma would enter. word, seen always at the same evening hour, isolated from all its possible surroundings, detached and solitary against its shadowy background. The bare minimum of scenery necessary, like the setting one sees printed at the head of an old play for its performance in the provinces, to the drama of my undressing, as though all Combray had consisted of but 2 floors joined by a slender staircase.
So I'll just address the elephant in the room that I have just washed my hair and, oh sorry, my microphone. I have just washed my hair and styled it, so that's why it's so much more big and full of life. But last night I did actually end up reading the last part of the first part 1, and there was so much beautiful language, and finally he has dipped his Madeline into his tea. And I actually wanted to read you guys a section because, yeah, it was so beautiful. And I've tabbed a few things. I've really got into the flow of it now, and I feel like, yeah, it's actually not going to be as hard to get through as I thought, because I think once you get into the pacing, it's actually okay. And also if you let go of the idea of trying to finish it fast. And then I also this morning listened to what I read yesterday just to get more of a feel of it and like really immerse myself in this world. And yeah, so there's one part here that I thought was really beautiful. But when nothing subsists of an old past after the death of people, after the destruction of things, alone, frailer, but more enduring, more immaterial, more persistent, more faithful, smell and taste still remain for a long time, like souls remembering, waiting, hoping, upon the ruins of all the rest, bearing without giving way on their almost impalpable droplet, the immense edifice of memory. Wow. All that to say that memory is most often conjured up through smell and taste. But like super flowery, beautiful language. And I think that's actually a big thing here. If you're not someone who is a fan of flowery language, then this is not going to be so much for you. But I really am, and you have to be a fan of language itself, I think, to enjoy reading this, not just for the plot. What I've heard so far, the plot is very loose. There isn't like this really big plot. And I have actually also decided I'm maybe going to read more than 10 pages each time. I will read a minimum of 10, and if I want to keep reading, I will keep reading. And I've also decided I'm not going to update you guys every time I've read 10 pages, because how many pages are there? Oh, okay. Oh, it's shorter than I thought. Sorry, it's still really long. But I thought it was like 1,000. But actually, it's only 500. Okay. But still, it's going to take me 50 days to read it if I read it like that. And I just think I could maybe read it in a month. Let's see, maybe that won't be the case. Maybe I've just got really into this one particular part. But I definitely won't update you every 10 pages, because then there'll be like 50 updates. But I might actually do this video in parts. So this will be part 1. And then I guess if I divide, maybe I'll just do part 1, part 2. Yeah, that might make sense. I think that should be fine. Also, I've like dressed up and stuff. Well, not dressed up my clothes or anything, but I've dressed up my hair and stuff because I am going out tonight with one of my friends. So yeah, just it's the morning. It's only like 9:30 or 10, but I just like to be ready so that when it's later I can just leave. Yeah, so gonna do some more reading today. Gonna do some editing. Going to do, what else do I have on my list? I might be filming another video, and I need to update my Substack. So yeah, there's just the kind of a nice day, lots of nice things to do. I feel like my hair might come, the curls might come out by the time later tonight, but it doesn't really matter. It looks a bit rainy outside anyway, so yeah, absolutely loving this. Actually, I want to read you one more section when he talks about the Madeline, because yeah, it's really lovely. What else? Oh, it depends on chance whether we encounter the object before we die or do not encounter it. For many years already, everything about Combray that was not the theatre and drama of my bedtime had ceased to exist for me. When one day in winter, as I returned home, my mother, seeing that I was cold, suggested that, contrary to my habit, I have a little tea. I refused at first, and then, I did not know why, changed my mind. She sent one of those squat plump cakes called madeleines that look as though they've been moulded in grooved valve of a scallop shell, and soon, mechanically oppressed by the gloomy day and the prospect of another sad day to follow, I carried to my lips a spoonful of tea in which I had let soften a bit of Madeline. But at the very instant when the mouthful of tea mixed with cake crumbs touched my palate, I quivered, attentive to the extraordinary thing that was happening inside me. A delicious pleasure had invaded me, isolated me without my having any notion as to its cause. It had immediately rendered the vicissitudes of life unimportant to me, its disasters innocuous, its brevity illusory, acting in the same way that love acts, by filling me with a precious essence, or rather, this essence was not merely inside me, it was me. I had ceased to feel mediocre, contingent, mortal. Where could it have come to me from, this powerful joy? I sensed it was connected to the taste of tea and the cake, but that it was infinitely far beyond it, could not be the same nature. Where did it come from? What did it mean? How could I grasp it? I drank a second mouthful. Wow. This is always just him drinking a tea with a Madeline, which actually, you know what? I kind of fancy. What was I going to say? So actually, yeah, what I found interesting about that part, and the reason I tabbed it, was because I like that basically we hold all these memories inside of us, and then one day we see something, we taste something, we smell something, and then a whole lifetime flashes before our eyes, and if we don't come upon that thing, it never is opened. I just find that really, really fascinating. It makes me want to pay attention more to what's surrounding me, so that I fully get to experience, oh sorry, my microphone is attached to my hair, so I fully get to experience perspectives in my life. Anyway, I'm gonna start part 2, do some reading, and yeah, I will update you when feels necessary. Hey everyone, so it's a couple of days later and I wanted to update you all on where I am with this guy here. And as you can see, I've started to make a bit of a tabbing system, annotating system, and I've got these 4 sections which are time and memory, reading, self-knowledge, Oedipus, and art reference. And as you can see, the predominant theme is definitely time and memory, but that was also what I knew this book to be, so that's what I kind of spotted first of all. And then the other ones I've noticed as I'm reading. But this book is incredible. Like, it almost reads as a long poem on memory. It's very dreamy, it's very water-like. It feels like you're going in and out of all these memories within memories, very Inception-like, so gorgeous. And I really like when he speaks about reading and self-knowledge, and in some ways it replicates this idea of something within something else, a life within another life, and how time isn't necessarily this linear thing, how it's this web of different things all converging together to become something. And he even talks about this in terms of perspective towards people as well. So how we can never know someone fully or wholly, we only see parts of them, and we create these illusions in our head that fill in the gaps. And that's sort of what we also do with memory too. Incredible writing, so captivating. I'll be like, oh, I'm just going to read 10 pages, and then 20 pages later I'm like, oh gosh, I've read way over what I said I was going to read. Really beautiful. I think I'm going to get through it much quicker than I anticipated, and actually I want to try and get through to the halfway point today. So I'm on page 127 right now, and I think I want to try and get to 195, which is where it changes perspective from one of the characters called Swan. It's going to change into him yearning for this lady, I think. So I think it's called Swan in Love, whereas at the moment we're at the Combray section. And also the descriptions of Combray, which is a place, are incredible. It's so silky, the writing. It's so like honey. It's I think it was also set around, well, he was born in 1871, and I think this is called the Beautiful Era in France. So it really replicates that feeling. It also would have been around the time of Freud's theories becoming more well known or thought of, I think. So when I suggested the Oedipus idea, I think that this is probably because of the times that it was being written. And he has this weird attachment to his mother, but does feel like it's slightly pointing at those theories. Not entirely, it's not super weird, like he just loves being around his mother as a child kind of does. He feels safe around her. But I think you could start to analyse it in an Oedipus style. But yeah, there was actually one section on page 86, which I remember because it was so beautiful. It was about how reading conjures up these new worlds, these new perspectives that you'd never live if you didn't read about them. And I wanted to read it to you guys because it's so beautiful. I just want you to get a feel of what it's like. Oh, also, just in terms of plot, I can't fully really spoil anything. There isn't much of a plot line, so if you don't enjoy books that are plotless, this might not be for you. It's more of a feeling. It's more of recollections. It's more philosophy, all put into a very loose plot line. And so this is him talking about reading, and it's from the perspective of, I think, young Marcel. So this is what he says about reading. And once the novelist has put us in that state, in which, as in all purely internal states, every emotion is multiplied tenfold, in which his book will disturb us as might a dream, but a dream more lucid than those we have while sleeping, and whose memory will last longer, then see how he provokes in us within 1 hour all possible happiness and all possible unhappiness, just a few of which we would spend years of our lives coming to know, and the most intense of which would never be revealed to us, because the slowness with which they occur prevents us from perceiving them. Thus our heart changes in life, and it is the worst pain, but we know it only through reading, through our imagination. In reality, it changes as certain natural phenomena occur, slowly enough so that if we are able to observe successively each of its different states, in return, we are spared the actual sensation of change. So it's basically saying, like, through the novel, we're able to like perceive change more and perceive our emotions more and have this more well-rounded view of an experience that we just cannot simply have by, even just by living. This is such an interesting idea to me. that was just one section. Also, you see what I mean? It's very dense. It's very, very dense. But I've really got into the rhythm of it, and I am getting through it much faster than I thought, because I cannot put it down at certain points, because first of all, the sentences are long. You want to keep up with the story. It's very hard to break away from it. Incredible book. I am loving it. So yeah, I'm going to read to Swanns Way. I think I'll be able to do it today. And then I will create a new vlog for Swanns Way and the rest of the story. And then, yeah, I will get back to you on where I'm at once I've read a little bit more.